Hello, I want to show another bit of strong evidence for microwave control of hurricanes. In this case, it's off the New England coast, and it is Invest 92L. This is visible light mode, and you can see there's a notch here that's stationary, and I've been studying it. I cannot account for it really, except for quite possibly air convergence, which I'm going to explain in a minute, or a microwave beam, a very powerful microwave beam coming from possibly this area south of Nantucket Island or Nantucket Island itself. So this low pressure out here has, or had until this operation was run, the possibility of becoming another Sandy, Superstorm Sandy from 2012. So Hurricane Sandy cost $70 billion in damages. It destroyed thousands of homes. It had 14-foot storm surge and 140-mile-an-hour gusts. It was the fourth most costly storm in U.S. history. And surely after that, these New England states decided, well, we're going to pay this hurricane protection money instead of having another one of those come in. So Hurricane Sandy had a pretty similar track. It hit as like Category 2, and then it sat there for 4 days and flooded everything. Even Wall Street was flooded. So let's look at the possible path for this Invest 92L. So the spaghetti plots show it's pretty weak, but yet it comes close to the land, but it doesn't touch the land. And the reason that it's turning to the northwest is because of some upper low pressure that's actually trying to suck it onto shore. So here's the surface pressure, low pressure right here. Here's the Nantucket Island again in Massachusetts, Long Island. And if we look at 5,000 feet, you can see it's moving to the northwest, 10,000 feet, 18,000 feet. So this low pressure, the upper low, is actually tending to pull the whole storm onto shore, which they really don't want. So this unexplained line bears a strong resemblance to my last video about Hurricane Lorenzo that traveled 4,000 miles across the Atlantic to make a bullseye hit on Ireland because it was steered. On the east side, it had a high pressure that was under Haarp ionospheric heater control, and on the west side of that storm, it had one of these, basically a wall. So it was like a sheepdog corralling a herd of sheep against a wall. So that's what this looks like to me, an obstruction that prevents this low pressure from moving to the west. And so is there any reasonable natural explanation for this? So I only know of two possible explanations, and it would actually be a matter of having two colliding air masses converge and then go downward to create a dry slot, a cloud-free slot. So here's surface winds. Again, if we look at here's about 10,000 feet, and we can see right here at the right angle, it's aimed pretty much at the tip of Long Island, and then you go up to 18,000 feet and it reverses completely. So that between 10,000 and 18,000 feet, you've got a reversal. So you could have a convergence there, but that line, the clear line, would be diagonal. It would not be in this position pointing to Nantucket Island. So that theory doesn't work. The only other possibility would be if there's a giant ice cube floating in the ocean right here. But that would not explain why it's so straight. So with those two natural explanations kind of pushed aside, let's see what's on Nantucket Island. So this is Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and this is where all the rich presidents hang out, Martha's Vineyard, and then this is Nantucket Island. So let's zoom in on that. And on the south side, there's an airport. And in the airport, there is a NEXRAD radar, but just like the normal WSR 88D radar, it's really only about 25-foot diameter, and so it's probably not powerful enough to reach the 230 miles down to this notch. But it is within the realm of possibility because of the curvature of the Earth that these radars can reach out about 350 miles. So let me stop that. So we do have a possibility that it's actually that little NEXRAD. But personally, I think there is a Navy flotilla here and acting to prevent this low pressure from moving to the west. But there's also at least 3 Haarp downbursts over this surface low here. If we step through, so we have a circle form here, and then as the sun's setting, we have another circle form here. You know, a downburst of air that's clear in the center. And then next, at the start, there was an early one. Sorry, right about here. Okay, so this is the center of the low pressure right here, and instead we have this little circle open up right here. So that's kind of suspicious, you know. If it's low pressure, it shouldn't really form an open circle like that, and you'll notice that that spin absolutely stops when these downbursts, downdrafts happen. Also, if you look at this in clean long wave infrared 10.3 and goes east, you can kind of see these differing air masses moving different directions, and yet we get this opening here. So it's a puzzle, but I would just have to say that this is a Hurricane Futures Wall Street banking / U.S. Navy weaponized weather using powerful microwaves. And, you know, the American people paid for this technology. They own it. They should not have to pay protection money to a bunch of gangsters to keep 14-foot storm surge and 140 mile an hour winds off of their property. So I hope you guys got something out of this video, and if anybody has a better idea what this notch is, please let me know. I'm very interested. This is about learning the truth. It's not about ego. Hey, thanks a lot for watching.